everybody, and welcome to this edition of A Visit to the Mound. I'm Lark Smith, along with Stan Hough, and today we want to talk about basically defense, hitting, what is known as a five-tool player. As long as I've been around the game of baseball, I've heard about five-tool players. Tell me, Stan, exactly what is a five-tool player?
It's a player that can run, hit, field, throw, and hit with power.
Okay.
Run, hit, field, throw, hit with power. That's your five tools. Mm-hmm. As a scout, you're trying to put all that together when you're looking at amateur players. And a professional scout, that you're trying to put all that together with, or you're watching a lot of guys in, so that can do some of that. You're trying to get to the five parts. A lot of guys are four tools: run, hit, field, and throw, but just not hit with power. And then you got the guy that can hit with power but couldn't run out of sight in a month. A month of Sundays. How do they clock him? With a calendar? Anyway, and then the defense is that's where guys that are the scouts that are watching these things, they got to put all that. They got to evaluate all that. And that's where that five-tool player comes in, because that's what every organization wants in baseball. They want a lot of those guys.
One is not any more desirable than the other. I mean, if you can't hit, you're not going to play. If you can't field, you're not going to play. If you can't run,
well, no, you're not going to. Speed's the name of the game right now.
Sure.
And they're looking for, it used to be a shortstop didn't have to hit, but have to be a really good defensive guy. Well, now they got to hit, they got to run, and they're wanting these guys to hit. They want to drive in runs too. So it's come kind of full circle. What is needed for every player is now looked for in every player.
Yeah. Well, back when I used to do fantasy league baseball, and we'd have our draft. From our previous show, you talked about being strong up the middle. Well, that's what I was always looking for. I would look at guys who could hit that played middle fielder positions, because that seemed to be a position that did not have a great number of guys that could hit for average or power. So I was always looking for that top home run hitting shortstop, that top home run hitting second baseman, that top home run hitting catcher. Those were the guys I wanted first on my fantasy league team, just for the numbers.
You were definitely wanting to win.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the reason why you play the game, isn't it?
I don't know. It depends on what age group you're looking at there.
But when it comes to outfielders, there's a dime a dozen outfielders out there that can hit with power.
Well, tell me about it.
Put up RBIs and stuff like that. There's a dozen first basemen and third basemen that put up, big numbers as far as home runs and RBIs.
Yeah, but can they play defense?
But can they play defense?
What kind of arm strength they got?
In fantasy league, I don't care about defense. I care about numbers.
I'm looking at the other thing, and not fantasy. There's a reality league.
Yeah.
But if I'm helping a kid, what I'm talking about, improve your arm strength. Mm-hmm. We work on your defense. Get as strong as you can on your defense. Work on your speed. This is the one that nobody seems to understand. Man, jumping a rope. Think about it. Just jumping a rope. If you can jump a rope a lot, and get under a basket in a basketball court and just jump up and down, what you're doing is you're enhancing your efforts to be a faster runner, because you're training those muscles, those fast twitch muscles, anaerobic muscles that they don't need oxygen to perform, and it's fast twitch, it's fast quick start and all that. So the more you do that, the better that's going to get. People say, oh, he can't run. Well, he can't run because he's not working on it. You got to work on it. You got to run every day, really, truly. You got to do a lot of stretching, a lot of flexibility, and run every day, and that's a key deal. And when you're throwing, to get a stronger arm, you go to long toss program. All right, you start off nice and easy. You go back to about 60 feet, just keep throwing. Then 90 feet, throwing line drives, not rainbows.
Right.
120 feet, line drives. Even if you're bouncing the ball, you do it, and then go to 150 feet. At 150 feet, I'd say, okay, that's far enough. That we're needing to get our arm strength is where we can do that. Now, an outfielder can use a long arm stroke. A catcher can't. So
Right.
a catcher's got to practice it that way too. Okay, and that's some other things what we can get into.